Hi. In this lecture, let us look at the interpretability of different popular ML models. So in explainable AI, one of the biggest concerns is the lack of interpretability of highly accurate models. So we have linear regression, decision trees, and all the way down we have neural networks. So neural networks have very high accuracy, but they have poor interpretability. On the other hand, models like linear regression, logistic regression, or decision trees, they have high interpretability, but they have poor accuracy. So this is what explainable AI is trying to solve, where we would ideally like to have models that are highly accurate and also interpretable. So the concept of interpretability itself, we can look at it from two angles. Firstly, we could either build a completely interpretable model that is highly accurate. Even if the accuracy is compromised, these models, if they can maintain high interpretability, it's called model-based interpretability. So these models are inherently interpretable. Linear regression, logistic regression, decision trees, etc. are examples of inherently interpretable models. We'll come to that in detail in a few moments. On the other hand, we could also have interpretability if we can derive explanations for complex ML models like neural networks. So neural networks, by default, it's very difficult to interpret the decisions made by a neural network, although the accuracy of those decisions will be high. But we could derive some kind of explanation for the decisions made by these complex ML models, and that is called post hoc interpretability. So these are the two branches of how to think about interpretability in ML models. And within post hoc interpretability, we can have black box models or white box models. So the difference between black box and white box is that if we don't know the parameters of a certain model, so imagine we have a neural network, the only thing we know about this neural network is the correlation between input and output. So we know that for these inputs, this are the outputs. In that case, and imagine you don't know anything about the bias or weights of the neural network framework. In that case, if you can derive an explanation for the model based on the correlation between input to outputs, that's called a black box model within post hoc interpretability. On the other hand, if you know the model parameters and using those parameters, you can derive some explanation for this complex ML model like neural network. It's called white box model. So these two types of models are there. So let's look at 4 examples: linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, and neural network. So each of these will belong to one of the classes, either model-based interpretability or post hoc interpretability. So in this lecture, let us quickly have a look at what exactly does it mean. So in this example, we have cholesterol level plotted against exercise minutes. And as exercise minutes increase, cholesterol level decreases. We have seen this. And there are 3 classes. There is high cholesterol level, medium, and low. So in linear regression, we fit a straight line which minimizes the least square corresponding to these data points. And this is the ML model. So linear regression is a very simple machine learning model. It's one of the earliest ways in which we could predict the outcome for a data point which was not there in our hand originally. So let's say now suddenly somebody is asking, what is the cholesterol level if somebody exercises these many minutes, and let's say the model is predicting this is the cholesterol level for that particular individual. So what is the model? Model is this straight line, and if model is predicting that for this particular individual who exercise these many minutes, this is the cholesterol level, we don't have to blindly believe the model, because we know exactly why model predicted this, because the model is this straight line and the corresponding y value for this x-axis point is this blue dot. And based on this, if the model predicts that this person has medium level of cholesterol, that also we don't have to blindly believe the model, because we know that data points corresponding to this is high cholesterol, this is medium cholesterol, and this is low. So we know that the boundary between high cholesterol and medium cholesterol is somewhere here, and boundary between medium and low is somewhere here. And because our predicted Y value is between those two boundaries, we can see why the model made this decision, right? So this is called by design interpretable models. So linear regression by design is interpretable. We know exactly why. Let me just move this here. We know exactly why a certain data point, this data point was classified as low or medium or high level cholesterol. So we don't have to do anything extra to make the model interpretable. The accuracy may be low for these models. An extension of linear regression is logistic regression. So unlike in linear regression where we can have any number as the output, in logistic regression the output is like binary, 0 or 1. So if our data point has n number of features, so let's say we have information about individuals, and if it's a healthcare data set, and imagine we have n types of data there: BMI, cholesterol level, blood glucose level, triglycerides, whatever, all those information is there. So those are n number of features. So for any given particular data point, a linear regression would look something like this. These beta 0, beta 1, beta 2, etc. are the parameters we get through the linear regression process. But in logistic regression, we apply a function like this such that the data points, this curve looks like a sigmoid, and the data points will be a probability. And if the value of this is greater than 0.5, we will say that the points belong to the class 1. And if the value of this is less than 0.5, we will say that the points will belong to class 0. So this is how we can convert a linear regression into a logistic regression. I don't want to go into the details of what is the benefit of logistic regression over a linear regression in certain problem statements. That's not the goal of this lecture, but let's focus on one thing here. Imagine that a model predicted that for these points belonging to the z-axis. So if we know the z, it's because these x1, x2, these feature values are known. So for a given set of x1, x2, x3, etc. up to xn, which is the data point corresponding to one particular individual, if we take the example of a patient, the value of z or z is known. And based on that, the value of this function, the sigmoid function, can be known. And based on that, we classify the points whether they belong to this class 1 or class 0. So if our model, which is this, if it predicts that these points points belong to class 0 and these points belong to class 1, we don't have to blindly believe the model, because we know exactly why this classification is made, because we know these parameters beta 0, beta 1, beta 2, etc. So we will also know the sensitivity of the model to each of these parameters. So if we do a dz by d beta dx1, that is equal to beta 1. So if x1 increases by 1, the value of z increases by the amount beta 1. So we know how much z is sensitive to each of these features, x1, x2, etc. And we also know how much this sigmoid function is sensitive to each of these features. So we will know, even for a particular individual point, we'll know exactly which feature contributed to making this individual in class 0 or class 1. So by design, this logistic regression model is interpretable. Let me move this here. So that is interpretable by design. We know exactly why a certain data point was classified as 0 or 1, and we don't have to make any changes to the model, or we don't have to do anything extra to make it interpretable. Again, the accuracy of logistic regression may not be good enough for certain tasks, but it is good enough to have very high interpretability. When we come to decision trees, let's have an example like this. If you are running a financial institution where you are lending money to people based on some online application, and you have a AI model or an ML model which works based on decision trees. And here is a simplified version of a decision tree where you are trying to make decision based on 3 parameters: age, salary, and number of kids. And imagine you have data about a lot of people, and this data was used for And this data consisted of your history of decision making, whether that person with age 40, salary $4,000 and one kid, whether this person was denied or approved of a loan, etc. You will have data about thousands of people like this, and using this data you will find these boundary points, these parameters, whether the age cutoff is 35, whether the salary cutoff is 3,000, whether the kids number of kids cutoff is 3. These numbers you will find, right? So that is how you have the decision tree which is capable of making a decision. Now, imagine that you are using this decision tree machine learning model for immediately, like instantly deciding whether a person should be approved or denied of the loan. Of course, this is an oversimplified version of the ML model. No sensible person will build an ML model like this to make a financial decision. But imagine you have a customer named Thomas whose age is 32, whose salary is $2,800 and who has 2 kids. And your model predicted that this person's loan application should be denied. How do you trust the model, or how do you know why the model made this decision? Is it because of this person's age, or is it because of salary? Is it because of number of kids? If it's a black box model, you will not know why this decision was made. You will have to blindly believe the model. In our case, though, you don't have to blindly believe. If you look at the model itself, you will understand why this decision was made. So the age is 32, which means the person belongs to this branch, not this branch. And salary is 2,800, so which is less than 3,000. So since salary is less than 3,000, this branch is where the person belongs, and that is why loan was denied. So this same person, so there are compliance related laws which state that you have to be able to provide explanations to customers if some decision made by your company or your organization for them, which impacts them, is made using AI. So here, if you can explain to Thomas why his loan application was denied, and you can also explain what he could do to improve his chances of loan application in the future. So here we can see that if his age was, let's say, 36, then he will belong to this branch and he has 2 kids, which means his loan could have been approved. And there is some logic to this, because if your age is higher, your salary tend to be higher because you may have received promotions multiple times. And that's why his probability of getting the loan approved increases if his age was higher. Or if with his current age, if his salary is maybe $200 to $300 more than what it is currently, then also the loan can be approved. So this is how you can tell exactly what the ML model is doing. And by design, this model is interpretable. So it's inherently interpretable. We don't have to do anything to make the model interpretable. But when we come to neural networks, which are way complex and way more better at doing certain tasks, especially tasks related to image processing, if we have a brain scan image which is using MRI or X-ray, and if we are trying to predict the onset or presence of brain tumor and to see if it's a malignant or benign tumor, we will have a neural network with multiple hidden layers, input layer, output layer, etc. And imagine the neural network predicted that a tumor is detected. It's impossible for you to know, unless you are an expert, whether which region in this image contributed for the model to predict that there is tumor for this in this person's brain. Whether it's these set of pixels, or whether it is this, or whether it's something here, it's difficult to know. And if you really look at the model has so many weights, biases, so lot of numerical parameters which define the model. And if you look at these parameters, it is impossible for you to predict why the model classified this image as having a tumor. And these are non-interpretable models. So inherently, you cannot interpret anything from the model. You don't know which pixels or what features in the image contributed to the image being classified as malignant. So we have to do something extra to make this model interpretable, and that is called post hoc interpretability. On the other hand, linear regression, logistic regression, and decision trees, they all are having model-based interpretability. So hopefully this makes it clear for you what we mean by model-based and post hoc interpretability. And the goal of explainable AI is to build models that belong to this category, where you either improve the interpretability of existing complex models like neural networks, or if you can make inherently interpretable models like linear regression or decision trees to have much higher accuracy, that's also fine. In any case, you want the North Star vision of explainable AI is to have points belonging to this region of high interpretability and high accuracy. So hopefully this brings you some clarity about what do we exactly mean by inherently interpretable models and those that are not inherently interpretable. We'll be sharing these links of the papers that we are using as references for creating these lectures in the description of the video. So the goal of this course is to teach you the basic fundamentals of explainable AI in a way such that even if you are a beginner, you can understand it reasonably well, and to ultimately work on a research problem statement on this topic. And through this course, you will learn how to conduct original research in this topic, thinking from a beginner's perspective. So we'll be exploring low-hanging fruit problem statements, and we'll be taking you through this course by hand-holding you, so that ultimately you can also accomplish writing a research article and you can improve your ML profile strength. So see you in the next lecture.